So welcome Isiak, welcome everyone, welcome to the Zik Analytics second webinar in English. Today I'm going to speak about the work structure, how to start from the moment you enter Zik, what to do, okay? We're going to go through the presentation, then later we're going to learn how to find competitors, how to find out if we found a good or bad competitor, how to find products that we can undercut and copy, and how to undercut the right products, and also how to do market research. I call this part the art of market research. We're going to learn how to think like detective, how to think out of the box, and how to recognize the whole picture of eBay and the market research method we have developed here in Zik Analytics. Are you all ready to start? Perfect. So let's start. So before, actually the most important thing is the work structure, okay? Many people are joining Zik, many people starting to sell on eBay, and they don't find the way to start search for products. They going around, they try to go look on bestsellers on Amazon, they try to look on other places like Watch Count or Google Trends, and they try to follow the trends that works in other websites. But every website, Amazon, AliExpress, eBay, have his own demands, have his own sales, his own statistic. Product that goes good in Amazon, not for sure will sell good on eBay, okay? And also, the second thing is that many sellers, actually most of the dropshippers, they do the same. They go to the best sellers, they try to copy the best sellers, and they hope, they pray to God that they will sell something and they will make some profit. But it's not working like this. Why? Because we have two things. We are limited. We are limited in time, and we are limited in best sellers. Okay? So we need to understand how we invest in the time in the right way, so we finish the day with 10 new hot products in our store. Okay? So the working structure is very simple. The first things we need to do, the first things when we enter Zik, our main goal, okay, our main first goal is to find a competitor. Okay? Before we start search for product, we want to find competitor. Why we want to find competitor? Very simple, because one good competitor will give us a lot of interesting product or a lot of idea for interesting product. So it's going to save us a lot of time. Okay? After we find very good competitors, we go for the next step, and the next step is to track the best-selling items of these competitors. Makes sense, right? You just go inside the competitors, run a search on Zik, and then you get the results of the best-selling items, and you start to check if the best-selling items, you can get them cheaper on Amazon. And this is the third part. The third part is undercut your competitors. Okay? Today we're going to understand why we undercutting competitors, why we making market research, why we combine all these things together. But we want to save time, so we have to undercut competitors. We have to make the art of market research, so we bring good product to our store. So it's very simple. The structure should be like this every time you enter in Zik. Okay? You will work smart, you will save money, you will save time, you will make money. Okay? Very simple. So remember, you enter in Zik Analytics, the first things you want to do is to find competitors. And now we're going to see how we do it. So how we can find competitor? There is few ways to find dropshippers with Zik Analytics. The first thing is to use Amazon bestsellers. Okay, we just go inside Amazon bestsellers, copy one of the titles, putting these titles in product research. Okay, we're running a search on this title, and we get results of many sellers selling the same item. Now I'm asking you, who do you think is these sellers that's selling these items? Of course, it's a dropshippers. Very easy. So if you make dropshipping from Amazon, search something from Amazon, you will find a list of sellers. If you dropship from Walmart, or if you dropship from a different suppliers, AliExpress, you do the same. You go, you copy titles from AliExpress or from Amazon or whatever, and you search on Zik, and you find list of competitors, okay? These competitors are very, very, very powerful for us. Why? Because they save us a lot of times, okay? So after we did it, we search for the product research, and we scan the competitors. The second option is to use best-selling items from our own store. Okay, we go to our own store, we see we have one product we sold many times, we copy the title from our store, and we search on Zik, and then we get also other people sell the same item like us. Probably these people are drop shippers, okay? Because we want to find drop shippers. We don't want to find some Chinese seller that sell very cheap and sell products from his own place, because we cannot compete him. We're looking for people that we can learn from them, people that we can compete, sellers we can compete. Okay? So here is example, and here I'm going to show you how we going to find the best competitors. Okay? Very simple. There is three things we need to understand after we make the search on the title, and we get the result here. You can see the result. We see the list of the sellers, the name of the sellers. We have the button to scan the sellers, okay? We have the list of feedbacks, and we have the number of sales, how many times this seller sell this item. And here we have the number of items, the price, okay? So we want to find the seller that have the less feedbacks with the most sales with the highest price. Why? Let me just fix it here because I think it's just moved a little bit. Okay, perfect. Because if I'm asking you, seller with 75,000 feedbacks that sold 7 times this product, okay, for $37. First of all, this seller is very strong. You have a lot of feedbacks, probably you have a lot of sales, probably it's not easy to complete him, okay? Second things, he sell number of items like the other sellers. He didn't make something extraordinary. He didn't sell this product, this item 30 times or 50 times, so it's interesting. He is very strong seller that sell this item like other sellers, okay? But what about this guy, for example, the World Inspirations with 6,000 feedbacks, sold 6 times for $69, okay? This guy, for example, is a little bit more interesting because we can see the seller above with 20,000 feedbacks, sold 6 times, product with the same use but even cheaper, okay? So if this guy with 6,000 sold this product for more money and he have less feedbacks, maybe he do something right, okay? It's give us a clue, it's give us an idea. Maybe this guy do something right. But I will go down to this example. We have this Petal 655 with 67 feedbacks only, okay? He sold this product 4 times for $13, for $14 almost, okay? Now it's interesting us. Why? Because this guy with just 67 feedbacks find the way to rank on the first page of eBay, okay? He got his ranking in the 100 best match results. Now this guy is interesting. Why? Because he have very low feedbacks. He's quite new sellers, but he sell this item and he's ranking very good. So we want to test, we want to scan this kind of sellers, okay? We want to scan the sellers that show us they do something extraordinary. They have lower feedbacks, they have high sales, and they have interesting selling price. But don't block yourself. You can also scan sellers with 6,000, with 20,000, with 10,000, with 1,000 feedbacks. Is no problem. I just try to make sense how from this piece of information we can get the best. We can understand the best, okay? Because remember, we need to save time. We don't have time to scan all the seller, okay? We need to understand from this picture already where we can find interesting stuff. So we try to look for extraordinary sellers where we later will find a lot of products. Is it, everyone understand? Just if you have question, this is a time to ask question. Okay, Luis asked, good question. What is better to do? Look for sellers with low feedback or sellers with high feedbacks? So there is no better and good about it, okay? It's really depend in the competition. It's really depend on the results of the niche or the results on the product. In generally, sellers with a lot of feedbacks, I'm talking about 100,000, 50,000, usually these sellers sell with very low profit, okay? And we don't want to waste our time on sellers with very low profit. We want to invest time of making research on sellers where they have a high profit, where they have interesting product, where they give us good ideas, okay? But don't block yourself, because sometimes you can also find good things in those big sellers, okay? In generally, we need to see the difference between these three pieces of information: number of feedbacks, number of sales, and the selling price, okay? As low as feedbacks with the highest of sales, already interesting. So it's not that we're searching for sellers with 67 feedbacks, but if a seller has 67 feedbacks and he sell like seller that have 20,000 feedbacks, he may do something right. He may work right. We want to see how this guy works, okay? And about the selling price show us if this guy is cheaper compare other products or not, okay? Or if there are other people selling same product for cheaper price and is still selling more. That means the seller with 67 feedbacks sell more expensive and sell more product. We want to see what this seller do, okay? So you just see the balance between feedbacks, sales, and selling price, and try to get the best out of it. Try to see who is the seller that's doing the best, and then scan the seller that's doing the best, okay? But it's not mathematics. You should always move. You should try one seller, go to the other seller, okay? So let's go for the next part. Next part, how do we know what is a good competitor? Okay? It is very important. Why? Because we need to decide if we're going to check the product of this seller or if we're going to go for the next one. Okay? So, the first important thing is sales. We want to see product with a lot of sales, like the one you see here, sold over 23 times in the last 30 days, 23 times in the last 30 days, or 10 times in the last 30 days. We want to see that this guy have a lot of sales compared to his active listings. Okay, it's very important. This is the sell-through. The second thing is titles, guys. Titles are very, very important. Titles tell us a lot about the seller, okay? Why? Because we're not looking for the sellers that copy and paste from Amazon or copy and paste from AliExpress. We're looking for sellers that invest time, that invest knowledge, that make keyword research, okay? And this is why I brought this example here. You can see all the titles from these sellers are titles that created by the sellers. Everything is keyword optimized. You see? You can see that everything full of keywords. All the titles are 80 characters or as much as possible, not short titles. You can see that every title here is used almost just with keywords, not brand name, not anything that is not important, okay? So after we see the seller have a lot of sales, this is the most important thing. We see he do a great titles, okay? Now we want to check if this seller work with profit or not, okay? So now we're going to check one of the product. We're going to go to Amazon. We're going to see if this product are selling with profit or not. If you see the seller sell product with very good profit, you should have already smile on your face, and you should say, okay, if you say sell one product with profit, probably we sell more. Let's start research the products, okay? And the fourth thing is the sell-to. Now, sell-to is not must, okay? Of course, it's better to have a very good sell-to, but it's not must, okay? Don't, if you see less than 10% or just 10% sell-to, don't say, oh, I don't check this competitor, I go to the next one. No, always look, because even if you have 10% sell-through, but you have one item sold more than 23 times in the last 30 days, maybe you can pick this item. Okay? So don't block just because sell-through. Always stay open-minded. Always stay flexible. Remember the priority. First priority sales, then titles, then profit, then sell-through. Okay? Now I will answer for the questions here. So Georgios asked, do we search per week or per month about the product research? Product research, I personally search per month. Competitor research, I do or per week in the last 7 days, in the last 14 days. Okay? Okay. Do you have more questions about how to recognize a good competitor? How do we know what is a good competitor? Before I go to the next slide.